clubs. True queens don't play. I came to work, drag, slay, work, hit the stage. Hard queens don't play.
Yeah. Stand up to bullies.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
Hey.
Look, I wanted to keep the music going.
Right.
Don't play. We almost what? We about close to 250,000 views now.
Look at you.
I'm so excited. What's
It's
going on,
not-
everybody? Listen, welcome to Tea with Monique. Listen, this is my co-host, Jay.
Hey, guys.
And this was Jay's idea to do this whole discussion panel. I give credit where credit is due. Jay is amazing. He said, listen, why don't we get some of the best YouTubers, Facebook pages, Instagram pages. Let's get them together and have a live discussion, like a live Q&A.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is genius. Tell them how you got everybody together, Jay.
He said, tell him why.
Tell them how you got everybody together.
Oh, honestly, if you guys don't know, I run the Monique and Portia fan page on Instagram, and I see literally everything. I see all the people who love Monique, who are in her comment sections and things like that. And I pay attention to that. And I also get a lot of DMs with people who think I'm actually Monique.
Yes.
So I was just like, here's this opportunity right here is a good way for not only Monique to be interactive with people who support her and love her, but for the fans and people who support her to feel like they're heard and, just give their input on different situations and, get that quality time with Monique.
Thank you. I love it. And it was such a good idea that I told Jay, I want to do this weekly. And it's kind of my way of just showing support to all of the people who supported me and didn't have to get paid to do it.
Exactly.
So look, all the best YouTubers, Instagram pages, Facebook pages, hit me up. You can slide into my DMs or slide into Jay's DMs or just email me at info@notforlazymoms.com and just put in the subject line a live discussion panel and we'll have you on next. So we're going to do this every week at 7 p.m. And I want to just say thank you to all of my boss squad. Y'all have been so amazing this whole time. Y'all have been supportive. So thank you to anybody who's ever shown love, boss squad, Team Monique, everybody, even the people that hate me. Thank you, because I know y'all here. Hi, haters. I know y'all here. So yeah, now I'm appreciative of all the love and support. And right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and introduce our starting lineup. So he has come out of retirement just for us tonight. Nobody other than my amazing, fabulous brother, Boss Squad.
Hello.
What's up, Kev? So happy to have you on. I was so excited. I didn't think that you were going to say yes, honestly.
Really? Well, I could be that way, but I decided to be too much fun.
This is going to be dope. And next we have Faces by Bravo, Steve. What's going on? What's going on? We can't hear you.
Hey, there we
you
go.
Hey.
I'm due for some plastic surgery that you pay for, apparently. So just wanted to pop on and see if we could get that done.
It is so crazy, but that was probably the funniest one I've ever heard.
I was cracking up when I got that. I was like, where do they get this stuff?
That is hilarious. That's hilarious. And then I have people who do support me, and they're like, hold on, I heard you was paying folks. Run me my check. I'm like,
Hey,
Jesus.
y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop.
Where'd all that money go?
Insane. According to them, I shouldn't even be able to quit the show. I shouldn't have
know,
to,
right?
But yes,
Nickelodeon.
let me introduce the shadiest king out there, the king of shade.
Hey, boo. Hey, honey.
Look, we've been talking like all the time for like 4 years.
Apparently. But a check ain't been cut yet, and a check ain't been cut. At all. So clearly, there's love there. Clearly.
Look, listen, I appreciate the love. I'm gonna have to just like start creating some like jobs or something so everybody can get paid. A job for everybody.
Keep cutting down on unemployment, the issues. We love that.
And during the pandemic.
Tackling it all by yourself.
Yes.
You and Chris's portfolio.
Oh,
Okay.
there. That investment portfolio goes hard.
Hard in the paint.
Next, we have the pettiest king, the petty king. Yo, y'all gotta follow him on Instagram if you're not, because his page is hilarious. What's up, petty king?
Hey there, what's the tea? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me tell everybody how I discovered your page real quick. So T'Challa flew away, and after T'Challa flew back, he posted the funniest clip with the music from Set It Off. I was like, I can laugh now because he came back. I can laugh now.
Yes.
I was dying. I was happy that you waited and posted it after he came back.
Oh, most definitely. And Monique, I'm blessed to be here. You are the most popular, most controversial reality show star right now. So we are happy to be here.
Thank you. Look, I appreciate that. Now, next we have, we're missing somebody, but I'm going to start popping people on the screen. So this is a person who I have known through Instagram for a very long time. I feel like he is another brother, and everybody knows him as the man that's still on Instagram.
Oh, you talk about me.
Brandon Jackson.
But what up, all? What up, all?
Hey,
What's going on?
Good to see you again, once again, Miss Thang.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
You definitely have seen every person that's listed here. Hey, Chase. You want to say hi? Come on, you can say hi real quick, but then you gotta go. It's almost.
Always ready to get in the mix.
He's always trying to get up in the camera. Look at him smiling right here. Look, you gonna say hi?
Hey.
Hey.
So higher so they can see it.
Oh
You gotta
my God, he's getting so big.
Hi.
So cute, getting so big.
Man.
Aw.
All right.
He's so adorable.
It's grown up talk time, man. Yes. So, what was I saying? Yes, I've
You
talked.
talking about me?
I've talked to James so many times, and I always drop his comments because he has some of the funniest comments when he's posting on other people's pages. But everybody on this screen, you've either seen me go live with, you've even heard me mention in my lives. Like, these are people who I've talked to constantly. And next, I'm going to introduce Miss XO Nikki. What's going on, Bill?
hey. Oh, we can
Oh,
get-
I think you're muted.
You got to unmute your mic.
Hey,
There you go.
There we go.
What's going on?
hi everyone.
Hey.
Yes, thank you so much for being here today. And last but not least, Mr. Javion.
Hey,
What's
what's
going on,
up?
man? Man, I can't wait to get to your last question because it was hilarious. So everybody gave me a few questions just so that I could. Everybody mute your mic for a second. There's some feedback coming through. Now we gonna make this real easy because I know it can be a little confusing. Look, I'm gonna play musical chairs real quick. I'm gonna put me in the middle. It can be really confusing when it's this many people up on the screen, but I promise y'all, we're gonna act like professionals today and get the job done. But I was cracking up at Javion's last question, and maybe we should just go ahead and start with that.
Okay, let's do it. I just wanted to know, is Jamal coming?
Of course not. Oh my God. Listen, that whole scene had me dying. Karen is the darn MVP. That was hilarious because she didn't even give her a second to really answer. She just was like, "Is Jamal coming?" Of course not. And she just, that was iconic. That was hilarious. So yes, before we start getting into it, I do want to announce a little surprise. Tonight, we are sponsored by Mila Eve Essentials. And everybody that's watching right now, you're going to get 15% off your purchase, except for diffusers, using code Boss Squad. The offer ends tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. So go to mealevessentials.com and get your little extra 15% off, and go ahead and don't spread the word. Only the people that's watching right now get to get it. So the code is Boss Squad. And y'all go ahead, Jay. What direction you want to take this? Go ahead and let's get this thing going.
All righty. Hi, guys. So I just kind of want to start off real soft, real subtle. I know that James had some very nice, interesting questions that really caught my eye. So I wanted to give James the floor so he can go ahead and get this thing popping with your questions.
Oh, wow. Okay. My first question, and let's just talk about if you were, okay, we know you quit, which we're very sad about, but let's just hypothetically put it, if you were to rejoin the show. So we all know that there's a deep divide within the cast. And we know, unfortunately, the incident is the main common denominator. So say if you signed on, what would you have done if you wanted to do to have tried to get both groups together so you can all at least be in a place where people can exist together? Oh, I can't say the word, exist together. Would you have did like a Nene Leakes and went on an apology tour? Or would you have just been like, you know, it just is what it is? But what would you have done to just pretty much try to redeem yourself if you had signed on for the next season?
Well, honestly, I feel like I redeemed myself at the reunion. But I will say the first thing that I would have done was called Iyanla, fix her show. That's what I did, because it needs help. And there, like you said, there was a huge divide, and it was so, I mean, literally the group is split down the middle. I'm so glad Juan Dixon is not here. So I don't know where that came from. Who said that? So random. But anyway, I honestly think that people need to let the real hate go. And unfortunately, that's the issue that I found when it comes to me and on the show that I was on, is that the hate became so real that it's hard to peel back those layers. You got people who think that they are like real life celebrities and their heads are blown up. They're making money. People know who they are. So they're not going to come off their high horse. And I've done that so many times. I've been the bigger person so many times. I've given out apologies so many times. But when it's time for it to come in my direction, it's like crickets. So that's the issue. So I think me leaving would probably be the best thing for the show, because now that level of hate that was for one person that's a part of the cast isn't there anymore. So, I mean, hopefully all the other ladies, they had some type of common bond. They'll be able to pick up the pieces and get it together. But it was just, you know, it was just, yeah, crazy.
I agree.
Steven, did you have something to say?
I also feel like, I'm curious your opinion, but I feel like it was, if the situation would have been like Robin or Ashley, I feel like they would not have felt so strongly about trying to ice you out kind of deal. Do you agree?
I agree with the Ashley part.
You don't think, I feel like Giselle would have been the Karen of this year if it was Robin, or like, I just feel like this felt like such a good opportunity for people that have been on the hater train with you, because if it would have been Ashley or Robin that was in the situation, I think they would have not been so quick to write off. And I was just curious if you think that's the case as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. It could have been anybody else but me.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Other people wouldn't have got the same treatment. I honestly believe that had two other people been involved in any type of altercation on our show, it would have been a come to Jesus moment. It would have been, let's fix this. Let's all help these women out. Let's get us back together and get us back on the same page. And it just didn't happen as it pertained to me, because, I mean, there was a clear agenda here. It was like, yes, she finally screwed up. Let's get her out of here, you know? But the great thing for me is that at least I was able to leave on my own terms. That feels very empowering. I was able to make that decision and move forward, and I feel very good about it. I feel like 1,000 bricks have been taken off of me. And I just feel excited about the future, whatever that holds. Kevin?
I want to add a little something to that. It's not really a question, just a statement, like going off of what you just said. I think the way you decided and the reasons why and the time that you decided to leave, I think it's a good example of when most people let reality TV end up ruining their lives or their marriage, because they get put into very similar situations, but they decide that the fame and the money that they're making is more important, or it's worth sticking it out. And then a few years down the line, you know, they're divorced for the 4th time and they're unhappy, or they're just like scrapping for a little bit of attention wherever they can find it. So I think it's good that you showed people that, you know, if your peace and your family are under attack or your values aren't being met, then, you know, it's time to walk. Not all money is good money.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think King of Shade wants to say something.
I just wanted to say that, you know, that you showed them that you're not down for a check, that they was giving you worth your happiness or happiness being tarnished or being just family. More important that check and arguing with women all day long. Like, it's gotten so, like, for you, I know it's just like draining to argue over and over and over again, and no one's being grown up and owning their part in it but you. So at some point, it's like, do I keep going, doing it over and over again, or do I just leave and let them struggle for the next season on their own?
Yes, yes. Before I comment, did anybody else want to say anything?
Well, I was just going to piggyback off what Kevin said, since we are talking about your departure and things like that. I wanted to know personally, what was your final straw?
My final straw was, let me break this whole thing down. At the point where an issue so serious, which involved an innocent child, was painted a picture as if me and my husband brought that information purposely to the show for a storyline, that's complete and utter bullshit. And the thing that really bothers me most is the fact that they showed me and my husband's live Instagram, which was a response to Candace's Instagram. So you'll show our response and you'll make a big deal about that. And then you say, oh, well, that whole plot against your baby wasn't on the show. It didn't make it to the show. Well, the Instagram live that me and my husband did, which was a response, wasn't on the show. That happened in August. So it's just not equal. It's not measuring up. If you're going to show our response, you need to show what prompted that. So Candace's live should have been shown on the reunion. And that would have literally just showed everybody that there was a plot. They were literally planning this. And they used the whole trainer situation as an alternative to still introduce a narrative to the show. So that part is what really just like sent me over the edge. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to fight the women and production and the network. I'm good. Bye. With my unpolished fingernails. Where the money reside, where the money reside, where the money reside. So that's my take on it. And I'm not going to do anything. Like I said this when I first joined the show. Y'all can look at my Tea with Monique channel, which is here, and scroll back to those Q&As. That's from season 2. That's my first season. And I made it very clear. If anything happens where it's going to hurt my family, then I'm done. I mean, I said that years ago, and maybe people don't understand that I am a woman of my word. I am a woman of my word because I'm fair, hun. So that is what it is.
Okay. All righty. So I did want to hand it over to Javian because Javian did have a very interesting question. Javian, would you like to go ahead?
Yeah. I wanted to know how, like, I've been watching since season 1. I'm pretty sure all of us have. But how has the show changed for you since the first season?
It used to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then it turned into like I was fighting for my life because it was like everything about my true character had been twisted and tarnished and lost in the sauce. And it was like the only way that I could really show who I really am was through social media. And then at the point where you start banning social media, or if you start trying to silence me through social media or not letting me do interviews, I can't do as much press. I have to hire my own private publicist in order to get any kind of press to get my side out there. Like you're putting a badge over my mouth. I can't even talk. And I don't operate in slavery situations. I would have been, back in the day, I would have been the one getting my foot cut off, because you cannot contain me. You cannot control me. Ain't gonna happen. So that's when, I mean, it used to be fun. And then it became a tug of war. And I felt like I was just like fighting for my reputation. And you know, who wants to feel like that? To me, your reputation is worth more than silver and gold. It say that in the Bible.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah.
I know Kevin, just kind of throwing you out here. I know it must be difficult being her brother, seeing her in these type of different situations. How does it affect you? Because, you know, it does affect the family altogether when your family member is in this type of spotlight. So how did it really affect you guys?
It was really weird. Like, it's not something that you immediately think of when you're like, oh, you are related to someone in reality TV in some sort of capacity. But to like watch certain episodes and you're listening to people speak ill of them or just speak out of character. And I mean, honestly, I'd be so pissed off sometimes. And there were some seasons where like I would go a couple of weeks and let the episodes build up because I'm just like, I know they're going to work my nerves. I just know it. And I don't feel like doing it right now. And then I go back and kind of like skim through it. So yeah, sometimes it was really frustrating during some of the harder parts of just trying to keep it together. But then when I made the Boss Squad page, it was a nice little creative outlet to check everybody else if I got a little frustrated.
Yes. And honestly, a lot of my like actual friends and family like that I've had for years, and, you know, childhood friends, NFL wives friends, a lot of them won't even watch the show. They watch and they were just like, wait, why are they trying to paint this picture like you? Like this picture of you. This isn't even like who you are. So they would just be like, I'm not even watching it. So they just don't. And a lot of my family and stuff, they get so upset. They have to wait until a few episodes have already gone by so they can kind of see how it's going to end. And for me, like a lot of times when we were filming, I rarely talked about what was being filmed. Like the most I ever talked to anybody about what happened was after the fight, because obviously that was just a crazy situation. But I never really talked about what happened. And a lot of times things would be shown on TV and my mom or, you know, my brother or my sister called me and be like, I didn't know that happened. Wait, what happened? You know, they don't know because they're watching it like everybody else. So yeah, Petty King is back.
Yep, I'm back in the building, baby.
You got a question? You want to jump to Petty King's questions, Jay?
Yes, I do have 3 questions for you. Well, first of all, my petty goddad, Carlos King, told me to tell you hi.
Oh, hi, Carlos. For anybody that doesn't know Carlos, you must be under a rock. I'll put it to you like that.
Yeah, so here's my question. I do have a couple of reality show, you know, type situations in the works for me. And you just were so strong while you were on reality TV, and you had such a confidence, and you didn't have to dab fake tears with a napkin every 5 seconds. You feel me? So I just want to know, what's your advice for those who want to go into reality TV?
My number one piece of advice would be, do not do what you think the audience wants you to do. You have to, here's the thing, when you sign up for these shows, you are basically saying you have authorization to do whatever you want with my character, with my reputation, with my likeness. Like, you're giving that permission away. So the number one thing you need to do is you need to outweigh the good with the bad, and make sure that you're doing it for a reason that outweighs the possibilities of it being bad. When I first went into this, I already had my platforms ready. Like, I already knew that I wanted to launch Not Lazy Moms on the show. I had already been doing the business. I had it as a Facebook page when it started out before I ever became a housewife. I already knew that I would have businesses that were going to come out and be shown on the show. So that was the reason that I used the platform. I honestly only did the show because I really wanted to build my platform so that I can showcase my businesses. So if you do reality TV, make sure it's for a reason. You can't do reality TV and think that you're just going to get rich. It's not going to happen, because once you get that first check and you go through that first season, you're going to spend more than what you make. Then when that second season comes along, you're still going to be spending more than what you make. Then when the third season comes up, you might break even just a little bit. You might have like a little bit of a profit. The fourth season is when it's like, okay, this is starting to balance out and level out. The fifth season is when you in there. That's when you start making that bread. And I left it for my fifth season. But the thing is, the platform that I was able to establish, the companies that I was able to establish, for me, I'm like, at least I did what I knew I came to do. I came to work. Look, I did all of that. I made sure that I had several streams of income set up. I have a whole 10-year plan. Can y'all mute y'all's mics? I don't know where that feedback's coming from. But yeah, if I'm not talking to them, baby. Oh, okay. Yeah. So basically, I made sure I had a plan and I was focused on that plan. And then you set your boundaries. What are you willing to take? Are you willing to endure? For me, my boundaries was my husband and my kids. Don't come for my husband, don't come for my kids, and we good. And if you're gonna come for us, at least let it be something we can own. Let it be true. But most times it ain't gonna be true. That's just how the platform is. Yep. So that's the advice that I would give for anybody that's looking to do reality TV.
All right. So my second question is, first of all, congratulations. Your music video and your lyric video have the highest views of anybody on the Real Housewives of Potomac platform right now, with Ashley's Coffee and Love at third. So you are number one. And I just want to tell you, you look like a real artist in that video, and you have real wardrobe and real choreography, and you didn't have to remix the same song 17 times and put it out without a video.
Right.
So I just really want to give you props, and you put it out there and you followed through. You didn't just throw the song on YouTube with no follow-up action, and not really a lot of views. So my second question is, who are your biggest musical influences?
I would definitely have to say Aaliyah, which I'm pretty sure y'all can see that in the video. I love. God rest her soul. Love her, obsessed with her, have been for a very long time. I love Busta Rhymes, and he is the one who I would listen to and literally learn all of his lyrics, and I would just learn how to rap faster and faster. It's funny, I was born with a tongue tie, and because of that, I was not able to speak as clearly as a lot of people my age when I was younger. And my son Chase also has a tongue tie, so he's going through it now. But the ability to be able to rap as fast as I can rap is like something that people with a tongue tie should not be able to do. So I would just practice Busta Rhymes all the time. And he taught me how to enunciate my words when I speak, because every time I would speak, it would just sound like one word running into the next because of my tongue tie. So yeah, I love Busta Rhymes. I love Lauryn Hill. She is one of the realest. Oh my goodness. Listen, this woman she's just like a goddess. Like, she's been here before. That's the type of energy she gives me. I still listen to this day to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And that Lost Ones track, listen here, that Lost Ones track got me through this past season of dealing with all of the craziness with the show. 19 weeks of watching my name being thrown around, and I can't blame anybody but myself, because I did allow myself to be in that position to have people coming after me, calling me all kinds of names, but I just wanted to make sure I wasn't defined by a moment, so, but I love, if you listen to that song Lost Ones, ooh Lord, it's like she's literally telling my entire story,
Yes.
Hypocrites always want to play innocent, always want to take it to the full out extent, always want to make it seem like good intent, never want to face it when it's time for punishment. She was literally reading my whole entire, like literally everything I was going through. I was like, yo, she's freaking genius. If you want to educate yourself, listen to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. She spits some gems, like true life stuff, for real.
So I just want to say, the song Drag Queens, it's so positive for the LGBT community. you know, and plus you also dragged someone who was not a queen, more so like drag peasant, but you know, the song Drag Queen, it just represents the LGBT community. So my last question is for all the single people like myself who are looking. I mean, you got Chris backing you up, sitting in the chair behind you, you know, not imaginary in your phone and not working, you know, always just, you know, backing you up and having your back. So what's your advice for single people like myself who are looking? And also, I love Lauryn Hill as well. Everybody, I'm a judge on Wanya Morris's talent show from Boys to Men. So I sing too as well.
Yes.
So, yes.
Give us something. I heard you singing. You got some talent.
Okay. We belong together, and you know that I'm right. Why do you play with my heart? Why do you play with my mind?
Yes.
So anyway, Monique, what's your advice for single people? I mean, should we just give it up on the first date, or I don't know? You know, you got to tell me how you got Chris to stick around and put a ring on it and hold you down like that.
Well, Chris is teaching a lecture right now. That just went over y'all's head. But anyway. All right, y'all, let's talk about
I am so glad Juan Dixon is not here right now.
Is Jamal coming?
Of course not.
All right, y'all.
And everybody but Giselle.
Exactly. Listen, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted Monique to finish Candace off and then go get Giselle. I was waiting. That would have been heaven to me. That would have been heaven on earth to me. I wanted you to line all of them and fight them one by one. That would win an Emmy. That would have won an Emmy. My eyes were like pinwheels. I was ready.
Oh my God, listen. Well,
yeah, so anyway, I'm single. So what's your advice?
All right, my advice is this. I would say you spend so many years to develop the uniqueness of yourself, you know, and I just don't believe in settling for anything. You want somebody that matches that same energy that you bring. And if you spend so much time working on you to be the best person that you can be, you deserve to have that everything. You deserve to have that person that has the full package. And for me, I actually made a list of all the qualities that I wanted in a man.
Was it a binder? Was it a binder?
It wasn't a binder. I have a binder for everything. Everybody got a binder in my house.
Listen, go get that damn binder, Monique. We want to see that binder before the night over. Period. Okay. Raise your hand if you agree. Binder. I need to see every tab, you know.
Chase, can you bring mommy her binder?
Listen, Monique, I hold that binder in the same regard as the Bible. So I would like to see it right now and all the tabs.
I'll show it to you. So yeah, so I made a list and I checked it twice. And I wanted to find somebody that wasn't naughty but nice. And I found my husband. But no, I basically wrote down every quality that I wanted, from God-fearing to even no tattoos. I don't have tattoos. So I was like, oh, let me find somebody that doesn't have tattoos. Like, that's how specific I was. And I knew I had to be very specific, because you gotta be careful what you ask God for. You know, when you ask God for something, He gonna give it to you. So like, I used to pray for patience all the time. And then Chris' mom kept coming in town to visit. And then I was like, oh, well, maybe I need to stop praying for patience. It's like,
all right.
And chew me up.
Yes, I love your naughty but not nice prayer, because you know I'm naughty, so I don't know. My prayer probably got to be naughty. You know, let's see what's in this. Let's see what's in this Trapper Keeper, girl. Open up all the tabs. What's the tea?
I'm not going to get into it. I got something special I'm planning, but I just let y'all take a peek at it. And some people thought that it was empty. It actually does have, it's like actual pages of stuff in here. It's like actual, you see that? It's writing.
So Monique, do you have the alleged tea about the lipstick alley behind Robin's tab?
I heard about that. I heard about that.
Allegedly.
If that tea get out, she's gonna be under fire.
Yeah, dissing gay people, dissing dark-skinned women.
She was on a reunion talking about don't use the word aggressive, and I saw some of the things that she allegedly wrote.
Allegedly.
About a certain brown-skinned person.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Yeah, baby, and I'm brown, so I'm offended, and you know, most definitely, I think she should be next in line for Little Drag Queens. Period.
All righty. Thank you, Petty King, for that. I would like to transition into the beautiful Dominique, because Dominique had some very beautiful questions that, you know, a lot of people watching can probably relate to, more personal things like that. So I wanted to let Dominique go ahead and ask her questions.
Hi. So, one of my questions that I have for you, Monique, beautiful Monique, you were just talking about you and Chris and the prayer that you asked God for with him being your partner and everything. And I just wanted to know, along that journey with him becoming your husband, when did you realize that you two were equally yoked?
Hold on one second. Chris, you got to get him, baby. Like he's like shaking my table and everything. He just unplugged my light.
Come on.
Go ahead, baby. It's okay.
Look where I got.
Hold on, y'all. My son is over here doing the mostest. What in the world did he just do? Chris. Okay, never mind. There we go. Chase over here acting like a little terrorizer. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Repeat the last line of your question.
When did you realize that you and Chris were equally yoked? And a subset of that question, what advice would you give to younger couples to help them figure out when they're equally yoked?
Yes. So Chris and I, we're both very God-fearing. And the thing that I love about, wait, what happened here? Oh, okay. The thing that I love about Chris and I's relationship is that we are people who communicate. We believe in communication. So, I mean, we would talk so much. I remember my sister used to mess with me and say, y'all talk so much, you're going to run out of things to talk about. And we've been together 14 years and we still have things to talk about. Like, we're talkers. And in that communication, we would talk about what we wanted and what our idea of a family looked like. We wanted to know, like, how do you see yourself raising kids one day when you have kids? Are you a disciplinarian? Are you the type that, you know, is going to send them to their room? Are you going to give them spankings because I ain't beating my kids? You know, so it's like having those deep conversations before you get like in a serious committed relationship or take that next level to marriage, especially before marriage. Having those deep talks will show you whether or not you are equally yoked. You want to make sure that you have the same beliefs, morals, and values, and that you can instill that if you decide to have kids down the road or whatever your goals are. Not everybody wants to have kids, and that's another topic that you have to talk about. So it's just making sure that you have the same things in common, and most important, make sure you balance each other, because Chris is very laid back. I'm very high strung. We're perfect together. We meet each other in the middle. So I pick him up a little bit. He tones me down a little bit. And that's necessary because I could be a bit much at times. I mean, my mouth used to be like off the chain. Like I would cut you like nobody's business and wouldn't even do it on purpose. Just very sarcastic and just very like to the point. And Chris taught me to kind of be a little bit more gentle in my approach to deliver whatever the message is that I'm trying to deliver. So I appreciate that about him. And then for him, Chris would like, people would do certain things or say things to him, and he would just let you get away with it. He would let it ride and be like, oh, okay. And then as soon as they leave, he'd be like, man, they think I'm stupid. I know they trying to run game. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't you just say it? And he's like, I don't really even want to deal with that. Now, y'all saw him at the reunion. You ain't gonna get
with the 50 lies being told about my wife. He had time to watch them 50 lies, baby.
Listen, so Chris he don't hold no cut cards now. Now he is just like, he done turned into me.
Okay, so Monique, my next question is, you have 3 beautiful babies, you have a husband. What do you do to find time for you? What does that look like?
Me time is 2 hours per week. I get a massage for 2 hours on a massage table. That's my me time. And the weeks that I can't get a massage, I'm like, this sucks. But yeah, my me time is definitely just like, I love getting a massage. That's just my thing. And I can get on the table and close my eyes. My phone's not in the room. My kids aren't in the room. My husband's not in the room. He makes sure that they give me that time. And I do the same for him when it's his turn. And to just be able to just think about nothing and just, I meditate a lot while I'm on the table or I fall asleep. And that peace that I get from that, it energizes me. So I'm ready for the whole week. But I guess sometimes it's important for people to realize that it's necessary. Like our house is very busy, you know, with 3 kids. And I know people that have way more kids than us. And sometimes I look at them and I'm like, I don't know how you do it. So between, you know, being a wife, having businesses, being a mom, it's a lot, but you have to carve out time for yourself. And sometimes it can be difficult. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's easy. And right now, honestly, doing my Mila Eve essential orders, like I've been fulfilling orders every day, and I'm downstairs, I turn my music on and I'm like in a rhythm, and it makes me feel good on a different level, because not only because I'm fulfilling these orders, but I don't know if people realize this. When I'm fulfilling an order for a person, based off of what they're ordering, it's telling me a story about them. So I feel emotionally connected to every customer that has purchased anything from Mila Eve, because I feel like, wow, this person is stressed out and I'm helping them relieve some of that stress by fulfilling this order and getting this order to them. Or a person who orders like the Sleep Tight kit. I'm like, wow, they really want to get a good night's sleep. They're having trouble getting a good night's sleep, and I'm able to be a part of that for them. So it really makes me feel good when I'm fulfilling these orders. So I'm just getting a kick out of it. Like I'm just overwhelmed, blown away. And yeah.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Thank you.
These oils are amazing. I use them every day. So
I recommend everybody get the grapefruit. I'm obsessed. Just saying.
Grapefruit is amazing for uplifting your spirit, all that good stuff. Yep. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're muted.
Can't hear you.
Okay. All right. Can you guys hear me now? Okay.
Yep.
So I noticed that on social media, you gave yourself a platform for anybody who had any disdain to say about you. You gave them a post to say good, bad, and ugly about you, which I totally commend you for. A lot of people, it takes a big person to do that. A lot of people don't do that. And I noticed that you constantly have to defend yourself. And we only saw a snippet of your journey in therapy when you talked about your childhood trauma, which I really related to and I really wanted to see a lot more of. So from your therapy and your experience through the whole situation on RHOP, do you feel the need to constantly defend yourself to this day? And what would you do to make it so that you wouldn't have to defend yourself so much like you did going hard at the beginning of the season?
Yes, that was one thing that I learned in therapy, was that certain people are going to have whatever mindset towards you, and you can't change that. So it kind of taught me in this circle of women, I kept feeling like, why are they giving me such a hard time? Like, I'm such a cool chick. Like, what's going on? And I kept feeling like I had to prove to them, like, no, I'm really cool. Like, I'm me. Like, people like me. What's going on with you? But then it just got to a point where I said, you know what? They already have their mind made up about how they want to feel towards me. So I no longer cared. I was just like, whatever. That's why I was able to sit there at reunion for 11 hours and not break a sweat and just sit there like this the whole time and just say what I had to say. I was completely emotionally withdrawn from the entire situation. I've already went through the process. I already healed. I did whatever I needed to do. And by the time the show started airing, I was good. Even when I made the post, and there's like 20 or 30,000 comments under that post. Some people, calling me names, and some people commending me, and some people saying, I hear you. That's it, And I didn't have to limit my comments. I didn't have to delete anything. I didn't have to block anything. I just wanted people to get it out, because that's what I learned in therapy, was to get it out. And my therapist told me, she said, you are always on. When do you have time to just be off? When do you have time to just let your guard down and just chill and be vulnerable and just be? And I was like, wow, I never have that time. So when I was making these different posts on social media, I wanted people to be able to just express themselves and say whatever they needed to say. And it didn't affect me one way or the other, because the fact that they're still showing up and taking time out of their day to search my name, follow me, and then post a comment, or to the trolls that were creating fake accounts and had like 10 different email addresses that they created just so that they can make a comment. I'm like, well, thank you. I feel special.
Thank you for sharing that journey. I really wish Bravo would have captured that a lot more because, like I said, I really resonated with it, and I just appreciate you for doing that so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Did you anybody have something to say, James?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I just wanted to piggyback off of that. That scene with you and your therapist, I just thought was one of the strongest moments of the whole season. I think it really just showed some real hurt that you have gone through, and it's shown a lot of vulnerability, and I commend you for doing that for everyone to see.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And one thing I do want to say, and I do want to just like, I don't know that I need to clear this up, but I do want to say this. When I made those comments about my dad, I don't want people to think that my dad was just a terrible dad. Like, my dad was great, and he still is. But it was just that part of the way he parented that had an effect on me. So there's many other things that he did that was great. You know, I remember my dad telling me when I was younger, he said, "You're going to be the valedictorian of, you know, junior high school." And I said, okay. And he pushed me to do that. And I did that. And he helped me write my speech, and he was there every step of the way. So my dad pushed us to be excellent. He was an entrepreneur. He's the reason that all of us are entrepreneurs. Like, there's no way you can have any of us work a 9 to 5. Like, that's just how we were raised. We are raised to like have our own businesses, make our own money, grind. If we fall, pick ourselves back up and grind again, and not have a care in the world, and just be happy in our grind. So yeah, I did want to say that. Shout out to my daddy.
Yeah. So speaking about your financial grind, I like when you ripped Andy's ass apart when he tried to come for your finances, and you said that Bravo gave you a little check. Would you be willing to tell us how much was that little check?
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell you how much it was. I put it like this.
I tried, y'all.
There are some YouTubers out here that make double my salary. And I'm not talking about the YouTubers that's making like $15 million. I'm talking about there's a lot of YouTubers right now that we all watch that make double my salary. So when I said that little check, that's not even including, like, we're basically paying for the production. You know, my electricity bill triples when the cameras are here, you know? So it's like, that costs money, you know, taking the trip to Newburgh costs me money. Like, so I'm spending a lot of money, you know? So, I mean, I'm gonna have events anyway, so that's fine. But, you know, still, that costs money.
I did want to, before that, I wanted to jump back into the whole therapy thing, because I'm actually in therapy, but you know, my therapy, I'm in anger management, things like that. And you know, it's whenever you hear the word therapy, you automatically think, what's wrong with you? And I want people to realize that therapy, there's nothing wrong with going to therapy. You can go to therapy for numerous things. And, you know, sometimes therapy for me personally, going to therapy was so I can personally feel heard. Because, you know, sometimes the people around you, you don't feel like they're hearing you. So I just want to commend you and whoever else is going to therapy, because it is, you know, it can be intimidating. And I know for me personally, I felt intimidated just telling a quote unquote stranger about how I am, my feelings, triggers, things like that. Yeah. So even though we only saw you in therapy for like 2 minutes, which was probably an hour or two session, I'm glad that you and Bravo, for the most part, showcased that to the world. And, you know, I just want to say, like, going to therapy is very normal, and it's very helpful for your growth overall.
Yes.
Yes, we love you, Jay. We love and support you, Jay. We love you.
Thanks.
Absolutely, Jay. No, I love that. We actually just did we did a podcast episode on my Not for Lazy Moms podcast. It's actually posted on my Not for Lazy Moms YouTube channel on anger management. And my therapist was the special guest that we had, Esther Boykin. And what I loved that she said, and she broke it down and just made it so clear and so easy. She said, anger is an emotion. It's not, we look at society, we look at it like it's a bad thing. It's just an emotion. We just have to learn how to express it properly and work through those proper channels. So I commend you for even telling us and being that open, because you're going to help somebody that's watching right now go to therapy if they do feel as though they have some anger issues. So I love that. I think that's amazing. And people like you are what's going to help people to be nicer to each other, because you have that outlet. So
Right.
if you have a moment where you feel like, oh my God, my blood is boiling, you know, you have that outlet in that therapist and you can let it all go. So I love that. That's amazing.
Thank you. James, did you have something to say?
I'm sorry. I had a very congratulations on therapy. I took anger management myself for 8 weeks. It helped me. I have not been arguing since 2018, so I commend you on that. Very quick question, because this is new developing news. You know, Andy addressed the reunion, and he blamed it on editing. He said that he held Candace very accountable just as much as he held you to the fire. How true is that? Because you were there.
It definitely wasn't equal now. No, it definitely wasn't equal.
So what? Because he blamed on editing. He said he wanted a 4-part reunion. He said, but editing did not show him holding Candace just as accountable as he was holding you to the fire. So since you were the one that was there, I was wondering, did you feel as though he was holding Candace accountable as well, or was that just he just talking?
I put it like this: we filmed for 11 hours. I was in the hot seat for a good 5-6 of those hours. So yeah, but I will say we all thought we were going to get 4 parts, and what we got was 3.5. You know, we should have had 4. There was a lot more to be shown, but I'm definitely not going to sit here and say that it was equal. The accountability definitely wasn't equal, and I mean, just the 1/4 of an apology. I don't know if that was I don't know what that was, but that was even squeezed out. And still there was no accountability. So I knew going into reunion that it was going to be heavy for me, and it was going to be a lot of heat coming in my direction. So on one side, I can't really be upset with Andy. He was doing his job. That's what he was there to do, you know. But on the other side, I can agree and say I wish they would have showed 4 parts, because there was so much more that was talked about. Not even just with the issue of me and Candace, just in general, you know, show stuff in general. The only thing we didn't talk about at all was the Portugal trip. Like, didn't even mention it.
Oh yeah.
Because it was boring. It was nothing.
Bored anyway, so it
was bland. So
yeah,
I didn't go. So
I did want to ask this really quick before I give the King of Shade the floor, because I do want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
Since we are on the topic of Andy, I know social media was on fire and they were bashing Andy Cohen. They felt like he was being biased. And of course he said a lot of things weren't shown, but we can only go based off what we see. And you were the one who lived it, obviously. But I saw a lot of comments saying that, you know, Andy is shading Monique. He's not treating her fairly. I felt a certain way about some things he said, but again, everything wasn't shown. So do you personally feel like Andy Cohen likes you?
I don't think he dislikes me. I've never had an issue with Andy. Like, I've never felt like he disliked me or anything. I honestly just felt like he was doing his job. And I do feel like, all right, let's look at it like this. Let's go back to the fire pit scene when we were in Newburgh. Let's go back to the kitchen. Let's go back to outside by the pool. If you're watching something and you only hear the one person constantly talking, you're going to be like, whoa, this is too much. Why are they still, you know, it's like piece this conversation, piece that conversation. You put them all together. Now this person is just talking. And you think that you're just talking over themselves and talking to one person, and everything they're saying is directed at one person. So you can apply that even to the reunion. If they're only showing the moments where Andy's going hard on me one after another, then people are going to sit back and be like, whoa, he was going in on her the whole time. But it's kind of spread out. And I will say this, I will give him credit where credit is due. Every time we had a break, Andy would come over to me and he would say, how do you feel? And I'm like, I'm good. And he'd be like, do you feel like you're being heard? And I said, absolutely. He said, okay, I just want to make sure you feel as though you're being heard and you're able to tell your side. And I said, okay, cool. I definitely feel that way. I did not have to raise my voice, not one time, because the way they had us seated, I was all the way on the edge, right? So I was in direct view of Andy. So every time I wanted to say something, I would put my finger up and he'd be like, oh, you want to say something? And I'd be like, and he'd be like, and then as soon as everybody else stopped talking, he'd be like, Monique. And he would let me talk. I didn't have to raise my voice. I didn't have to yell over nobody, like, well, for the most part. But I felt as though during that time, he definitely was giving me opportunities to say what I need to say. Even when my husband came out, he made sure that my husband was able to speak, but y'all ain't see all of that, you know? So to a degree, I mean, he ain't lying, but we just ain't been able to use that excuse the whole time we've been on Housewives. So I'm saying.
He is the producer of the franchise. I'm saying you to hit the balls. Understand?
Yeah, I think I was going based off of, and you know, a lot of things can be taken out of context. You know, it can have a different meaning than what, you know, you think. Because I believe I saw when they were discussing the drag queen song, he said it's not that great, which it could have had different meanings, but automatically people who support you and love you took it a certain way. And I believe he made a comment about your lawyer. So I just feel like, you know, maybe there was shade here and there, which I personally felt was unnecessary.
Yeah.
And, you know, we caught it and we saw it.
Right. I didn't even hear him say that part until I watched it.
Yeah.
About my song not being that great. He never even heard my song before. So,
Right.
And then also when what threw me was when he said, "Are you a recording artist?" And I'm like, dude, didn't you ask me to rap my first season?
Yeah.
Like, I literally talked about the fact that I was pursuing music far before Housewives started. And I was just like, I actually was a recording artist.
Wait, I have a question. Didn't he ask you to rap your first reunion?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So that was just like, wait, what? So it was weird. It was weird. But me having to defend my own song, I'm like, these folks ain't even listen. All they heard was the title, Drag Queens, and they were just like, oh, it's violent. Oh, I can't believe this. No, it's not violent. Listen to the lyrics. Like, I'm literally talking about myself, and then I throw little shade in there about some of the season situations, but majority of the song is about me.
Right.
When I say drag queen, I'm calling myself a queen. Like, it's an uplifting song. It was a part of my process to get over everything that I had been through that past year after the fight. I needed that song to remind myself of who I am and why I stand for the things I stand for. So I chose to write a song. She chose to use Post-its. That's her prerogative. If she wanted to write a song, she could have wrote a song about me too. But my song wasn't even about her. It was like a line here about you. Dehydrated females, you know, really are the worst, hun. Woo, that's about you. If you want to pick a verse, I'll give you one.
Right.
What if she wanted to sing a hook on the remix? Would you let her? If she wanted to sing a hook on the remix?
It need to be on key.
She already tried to recite my lyrics and failed miserably.
I just want to say shout out to Candace for doing that though, because that was some pre-promo. She's sitting here like going verbatim, line by line, looking crazy, but everybody tuned in as soon as the episode finished airing. So thanks, girl.
That was great promo. I appreciate it. Great promo.
Yes, I don't know how much time we have left, but I did want to give the King of Shade the floor really quickly.
Yes.
I know you had a lot of interesting questions, and a lot of them I could relate to. So if you would like to share something, the floor is all yours with no interruptions.
Go ahead, King.
My first question is, I want your opinion on the boycott. Do you think what do you feel about it? Or what do you think? What's your stance on it with Nene and Mariah Huq, the whole color racism issue with the network?
I definitely feel as though there needs to be more equality. I mean, you can't expect to understand Black culture if you don't have Black culture a part of the people that are making the decisions as it pertains to these shows, you know, even with the network, you know. So it's like you can tell when there are groups of people, whether that be a network or a business or anything, when you can tell when they really don't understand all of the issue that's going on, because they'll take one issue and they'll beat it like a dead horse, you know? So it's like you really have to become well-versed and not be so ignorant about the cause, and actually learn by talking to people who are people of color or whatever group that you're trying to understand better. So I definitely feel as though, you know, it needs to be more diversity. So it's like people always talk about diversifying their stocks and their bonds. Well, diversify your friends and your businesses. Make sure that you are able to, you know, make sure you're able to touch everybody, because our world is full of everybody, not just one particular group of people. So
Thank you for answering that. My next question is, what would be your my advice or your advice on dealing with grief? Like, what do you suggest? Like, what we're going on right now with COVID and people losing their family members? What is your advice? Do you suggest people do to deal with it, losing loved ones constantly?
Oh God. It's a hard one to call because everybody deals with grief so differently. I just say, you gotta have people around you that you love and just hang on to them as much as possible, hang on to those memories, and just realize like we're literally not in control. Like the only thing that is guaranteed is death. Like literally in life, that's the only thing that's guaranteed. And try to focus more on the impact that was left by that person. Go through the process of mourning. Don't ignore it. You have to go through the process because if you shut it out, it's going to stay within you and it's going to be even harder to keep moving forward day by day. So just finding outlets for it. If you need to cry, if you need to, talk to somebody, let it out. There's nothing wrong with it. And if you're crying, you can ask Candace to borrow one of them for tissues. And
come on now.
And but yeah, I definitely say on a serious note, you have to go through the process of grief. You can't ignore it or shut it out. You have to deal with it for sure.
King of Show, do you mind if I ask a question really quick? So I'm glad you brought that up because I'm a very private person, and a lot of people don't know, besides my immediate family, my father has congestive heart failure and he's essentially dying. And I think I'm in the state of like trying to emotionally prepare for it. So it's just kind of, anyway, it's just kind of, I don't know. I don't know if it's a such thing as grieving before it's actually time to grieve.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kind of putting myself in the situation. So when it does happen, I'm fine.
I would do it right now.
Sorry.
I would give him a hug if I was there. Y'all, can we give him a virtual hug? We love him.
It's okay, Jay.
I don't talk about it. I just kind of keep it in, and I just kind of mentally try to prepare myself for it. But I don't even know if that's a real thing, like grieving before it's time to grieve. But I'm sorry.
I think what you're saying is really important for people to hear. And I think like my advice to you would be try your best. And I know it's not easy, but try your best to enjoy the moment. Try your best to be as present as possible. Soak it all in, absorb it, and just like really live in the moment, And then just, trust God, like pray for peace, pray for understanding, and God, I'm so sorry. I know
it's fine.
And Jay, we love you. Thanks to Monique, you have family members here. We all love you. Reach out to any of us, DM us.
Yes,
we will talk to you. We love you. Thank you to James, Jay, Monique. You guys have inspired me. I'm going to go to therapy as well for being too petty and too shady. I want to change my ways in the new year because of you all.
Keep being petty. Yes.
All right, King of Shade, you need to join me, King of Shade. Petty King and King of Shade. We going to therapy together. I'm
gonna have to keep the shade though. I'm gonna have to keep the shade dark. Really dark. My last question was, I just wanted your advice on, because you have a beautiful family, you have a bright spirit, you have a positive spirit, and I want to know, like, what do you suggest on how to build healthy relationships in a dysfunctional family? Because my family is very dysfunctional, very like with the capital D, like some ratchets and all that, like it's sort of a hot mess. So during these times with COVID, trying to, build better relationships, trying to, reconnect.
Yeah.
What do you suggest to help reconnect?
I feel you. And I always say, you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family.
Period.
So you got to deal with them in doses.
Yes. In doses.
Yeah. And just knowing what your limits are. Like sometimes it's like, I got to put a limit. Like, all right, this month, I ain't fooling with nobody. I'm turning my phone off or whatever, and just say, look, I'm going to be off the radar. Don't be getting worried if you don't hear from me, but I just need this time to have some peace, and I will holler at you when I'm ready to holler at you. But don't make yourself feel like you just gotta talk to them all the time just because they family.
Oh yes, I deal with, I deal with certain family members, but I just with so much going on, I don't want to, because I did that for so long with my aunt that passed away from cancer. I talked to her for like 2 years, and then she ended up dying. So I had a grudge against her. So I just I don't want to hold on to so much grudge and keep distance from my family members that they're dying constantly. Like I lost 3 last year from death. So
I would say maybe investigate what issues you might have that would make you feel like there's tension or stress between those relationships. Maybe if you get down to the bottom of what those issues are, then you'll be able to exist and be happier to see each other. Because I know one thing, when my mom, my brother, my sister, all of us, my aunts, all of us get together, we literally have the best time. Like nobody's arguing, nobody's fussing. We have the best time. And then we all go back to our lives, and we have a group text message to keep in touch with each other. But yeah, you want to make it so that whatever issue you might think is going on that's underlying, get to the bottom of it. Have those hard talks. But yeah, you want to make it so that whatever issue you might think is going on that's underlying, get to the bottom of it. Have those hard talks. But yeah, you want to make it so that that's weird.
That's somebody's TV.
I don't know, but everybody mute. That's hilarious. So yeah, so y'all listen, I appreciate everything. This has been a great discussion. This was the first of many to come. We are going to be doing this every week with new panel members, YouTubers, fan pages on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Like whoever would like to be a part, just hit me up. I would love to do it. And I do want to pop this back up on the screen one more time before we go. Everyone watching will get 15% off your Mila Eve Essentials purchase, excluding diffusers. Use code Boss Squad. The offer ends tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. So visit MilaEveEssentials.com if y'all want to try out some of the oils and things. And I'm actually about to hop on over to my Not for Lazy Moms channel and do Wine Down Wednesday. I have my bottle of wine sitting here ready and waiting. I knew if I started drinking this now, I would not make it to Wine Down. She's a whole lyricist. I just freestyled and it wasn't even on purpose. Yes. But no, this has been an amazing episode. I thank everybody that joined the chat. We were a few minutes behind, so I didn't even get to shout everybody out who's been on. But everybody, do me a favor. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And share the word, spread the word. We're going to be doing this Tea with Monique episode with the panel hosted by myself, co-hosted by Jay. And we're going to have a good time. All kind of questions about life in general. I'm down for it. I think this is going to be a really fun situation. So thank y'all, all of y'all. Thank y'all, Brady Bunch.
Nice to meet everybody.
Love you, Monique.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Team on, bro.
And we'll see y'all next week. And if y'all want to come back, y'all just let me know. But thank y'all so much. Y'all take care and have a blessed night.
Bye.
Try.